Okay, so what we have here is our Next.js application hooked up with AWS Amplify JavaScript libraries. And on the back end, we have our CDK code, which gives us the ability to create an API gateway endpoint. And then the new addition here is going to be this delete Lambda function, which we are going to create in this video. This is going to be in charge of taking in an ID of the item that we want to delete, the book in this case, and deleting it from our DynamoDB table. So let's go ahead and hop over into our CDK code to see what this looks like when we put it all together. Quick recap is that in our backend stack, we do have our DynamoDB table and then a couple Lambda functions here that'll be in charge of making those API routes on our API gateway endpoint. The new addition that we're going to have is the ability to delete an item. Let's set this up right here where we have const, and then I'm just going to say delete book func is what we're going to be calling this. And we just kind of leave you hanging right there. And that'll work as a really nice placeholder so that we don't forget what we're trying to add here. Now let me get back to my file explorer. And the new part that we want to have inside of here is going to be a new directory. And what I'm going to call this is our delete books func for the folder name. And then of course, we're going to have that construct.ts, which is where we're going to define this code here. Now, what does this code look like when we start to piece things together? Very similar to what we've done already. We have the props that is taken in. It needs to be given a name. It needs to be given the ARN of the DynamoDB table that it's going to be accessing. And then in terms of the actual Lambda function code itself, the internals of it, it does need the name of the table. So this is a unique identifier. This is the table name. Constructing a Lambda, just a few lines of code. What are we looking at? 8 lines of code here. Give the function a name. We're using node 18 to do it. It's called handler. The file to access this is going to be called main.ts. We can actually create this right now while we're at it. And then the environment variable it's going to take in is that books table name. Cool. Now, when it comes to deleting an item from our database, keep in mind we do have to have the ability to pass in an ID. So we're going to be pulling items off of the event here, the event body. So when I paste in this code, what we're essentially looking at is the ability to have our DynamoDB client be created. And then this delete item is going to take in some params. And these params are going to be and these params are specifically going to be targeting our table name and then the ID that was passed in. And if you're wondering where this ID is coming from, we're essentially grabbing it right here. So we have sent in the body as ID with some kind of value here. We're going to parse that out. We do log it in case we do want to check it out in the browser. But at the end of the day, we're just going to do a quick check. Hey, is there an ID? If there's not, throw an error. Otherwise, call that delete item function that we set up, passing in and returning the correct headers to the client. Now, taking one more glance at this delete item function of what we have here, it's nothing too crazy. It takes in those params. We do have to put it in DynamoDB format. There is a utility that will automatically turn this into it. The Marshall utility, I believe we can just pull it off from here. Yeah, Marshall. However, it's just as easy to do this. And then from there, we use the delete item command provided by the v3 JavaScript AWS library. Great. We have that in place. Next thing to do is really just to tie this all together. We have our function already here. And then we have this thing yelling at us. So let's fix that real quick. So I'll paste this in just like that, where we have our create delete books function. Now that I think about it, this probably should have been book, right? If you caught that, let me know down in the comments and see if we can just refactor that later on. It's going to drive me crazy now that I see it. But in any case, all we have to do is add in, now that we have this function here, we can pass in the delete. Did I not pass that in? So delete item base func, it knows what I want. Let's make sure that we have this over inside of our props here. Switch this over, head over to our not backend, API gateway file. We never passed it in. Did we not hook this up at all? Am I jumping too far ahead? Let's take a look. We have this in place. We have the base. We don't have delete. I bet my IntelliSense or my AWS Copilot is going to do that for me. Nope. Const delete item base integration. There you go. You kicked in. We have that set up. And then can you do the rest for me? Nope. Base resource. You're going to let me type a little bit, aren't you? Yep. Add method, delete. All that looks good. Cool. So we passed it in as props, our Lambda function, and then we added it as an integration. We have the method here. I think we're good to deploy this and test it out. This is going to be a quick one if this is all working on the first try. So let's kill that, go into the backend, do a quick little deploy. I'm being lazy and tabbing up. Awesome. Same things apply as before, right? We're going to be adding on the ability to delete. Essentially, your Lambda function can delete. API gateway can call this Lambda function. We're going to call this up. While this is working, let's prep Thunder client. We've been working with this lately and I've been loving it, honestly. And we have the ability to delete. So we can make some room here. We could probably get rid of you. And what do we have? We have, this is for pets. This must have been for a previous API. No worries. Let's go to our AWS exports file, grab our API, make sure that we tack on /books, just like that. We're going to create a new one. So we'll have a post request. We are going to give you a title and an author. Title we're going to give you is going to be, how about Heart of Darkness? And then this is by Joseph Conrad. Great book, by the way. Checking on our function here. Oh no, it failed. Why did you fail? Delete pet func. Oh, is that why? Do I have a pet in here? I do. You delete pet func. Book func is what you should be called. That's what happens when I copy and paste from existing projects. Cool. We'll try that out. See if I have to accept. I should, because it's going to create a new function for me. Yep. We'll say yes to that. Everything there should be good. Heyo. Okay. So let's head back here. This function is already working, so we don't have to worry about this conflicting with what's deploying. We're going to post this up. Title, Heart of Darkness, Joseph Conrad, and then send. Item put successfully. Great. Let's test out the rest of our routes. We're going to go here and then send this off. Oh, what did you not like? Request can't be satisfied. Oh, we have a body here. We can't use a body. And then we'll get rid of these Thunder client headers. We don't need those. Cool. So we'll send those off. We have Heart of Darkness. We have the Primal Hunter from our previous example. And then I'm like, you know what? I haven't read the Heart of Darkness, even though it's great. I haven't read it since high school. I was like, I don't know, 20 years ago. Dating myself. What I'm going to do is take this ID, and assuming that this is almost done deploying, I can get ready to take this, go to my delete method, and then in terms of the body, keep in mind that Lambda function is expecting an ID. I'll say ID here, and then I'll just give it that. Make sure this is in quotes. And if you are done deploying, which you are, we can test this out. If I click send here, missing auth token. Uh-oh, what's going on here? We are on /books. We have the ID. So what is it? Are you not fully deployed? Too soon? It was. Message, successfully deleted item with this ID. How can we verify? We can go to our get route, click on get, and let's see what we get back. Oh my goodness, I did it again. Get rid of the body and then do it. And then we have Heart of Darkness and the Primal Hunter still here. That should not be the case. Did we not pass in the full ID or the right ID? Here, delete. I probably did something that you all saw immediately. ID, colon, here. IDs are the same. We're on deleting. Successfully deleted you. And then when I go to get with nobody, okay, there we go. I don't know what I did. I'll have to look back. But yes, that item is deleted. We have everything correctly working. We've created, updated. I think we just got to get a single item and we can call this thing good. Hopefully this series has been informative so far. I've been having a good time. I'm making silly errors and hopefully you see those and you can just not do them. It makes it all better for everybody. My name is Michael Lee. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love doing series like these, but I only can keep doing them if you let me know that you enjoy them. I go by Focus Otter everywhere, so hit me up if you have any questions. But until next time, folks, I'll check you out then. Peace.